She said she had a date, like it was nothing. But by the end of the night, it wasn't her victory she was toasting. It was her downfall. She didn't even look up from her phone. "I've got a date," she said. 4 words. Clean, casual, dismissive. Like she was telling me she needed almond milk from the store. There was no tremble in her voice. No hesitation. Just that same practiced smirk she wore when she thought she was in control. But she wasn't. Not anymore. There was a time, God, not long ago, when those words would have gutted me, left me gasping, desperate, trying to fix things that were already broken beyond repair. We used to be something, you know? The kind of couple that looked like the final chapter of a love story. We danced barefoot in the kitchen to music we were too embarrassed to admit we liked. Shared burnt popcorn under thrift store blankets. Talked about futures like they were already ours. I believed every word she said. Every touch. Every, "I love you." She was the architect of our dream. I just helped hang the pictures. But somewhere along the way, she started drawing up new blueprints. Ones that didn't include me. It was subtle at first. The whispered phone calls behind closed doors. A sudden gym obsession that came with new clothes and a new passcode. The laughter stopped landing. The affection felt rehearsed. I told myself it was stress, work, burnout, life. That's what trust does. It blinds you, softens the alarm bells until they sound like lullabies. Then came the charger. Just a Tuesday. Ordinary rain tapping at the windows. She was in the shower, humming to herself, and I just wanted my charger back. I reached into her purse without thinking. Her phone lit up. "Can't wait for tonight. Same room." 7 words. They hit harder than her 4. I stood there, frozen. Not angry. Not yet. That came later. At first there was just stillness. A strange cold clarity, like a lake freezing over in real time. I put the phone back where I found it, walked out of the room like nothing had changed. Because in that moment, I realized something important. Confrontation gives them power. But silence? Silence gives you control. That night, I lay beside her in the dark. She smelled different. Some cologne I didn't recognize clung to her skin like a confession. I didn't flinch. I just memorized it. Not for pain, for precision. The next day, I began. A GPS tracker hidden inside her car's taillight. An app that mirrored her messages. Her passwords weren't hard to guess. Ego makes people careless. I tracked her dinners, her hotel check-ins, the charges made to our joint credit card. Expensive wine, luxury rooms, late-night rideshares billed under aliases. Then I found his name, Ethan Rollins, junior executive, married, sloppy. He worked in the same building as her, probably met at some networking mixer over cocktails and ambition. She thought she was being clever, but she was just predictable. I stopped asking where she was going. Stopped texting her to be safe. Let her spiral undisturbed. Meanwhile, I kept digging, building a case so airtight it could suffocate her. And then I found her. Julia Rollins, Ethan's wife. When I first reached out, I expected tears, maybe screaming. Instead, she laughed. A cold, sharp sound, like glass breaking in the distance. "You too, huh?" she said. She had her own stack of receipts, emails, photos, voicemails saved out of spite. We shared what we had, like war generals trading intel before the final siege. She gave me access to Ethan's calendar. I gave her screen recordings of texts that could make a lawyer salivate. Together, we burned the bridge. But I didn't stop there. You see, she and I owned a business. Technically, legally, it was mine. My name on the contracts. My signature on the trademarks. She was the face, the charming smile in investor meetings, the voice in pitch decks. But while she was off playing house in hotel rooms, I was tightening bolts behind the scenes. Quietly, methodically, I began to remove her. Board votes restructured, shares reassigned, passwords changed, locks rotated, access revoked. By the time she noticed, her empire had already slipped through her fingers. Last Thursday, I invited her to dinner. "Something special," I said. "Dress up." She smiled, smug and sweet. Wore that red dress, the one she wore the night we landed our first investor. Back then, it meant something. Now, it just looked like the uniform of someone about to be fired. We drove in silence. I took her to a rooftop restaurant with panoramic views of the skyline. Our skyline. The city we used to dream in. I had reserved the booth under her name, one she'd never use again in this industry. She swirled her wine but didn't sip. "What's the occasion?" she asked. I slid the manila envelope across the table. She chuckled. "What's this?" She stopped laughing by the third page. Affair, embezzlement, NDA breaches, screenshots, email logs, a signed affidavit from Julia's divorce attorney, surveillance photos, time-stamped, verified. Her hands shook. "This isn't?" "It is," I said. Calm, measured, no hate in my voice, just truth. "You've been removed from the company," I continued, "effective immediately. All assets have been frozen. Ethan's being investigated for fraud, Julia's leaving him, and you," I paused, "you're named in the complaint." Her mouth opened, closed. Her eyes darted around, searching for something. An exit, a lie, a version of me that might still care. "I still love you," she whispered. I leaned forward, smiled faintly. "I know." I stood, straightened my jacket, looked her in the eyes one last time. "Enjoy your date." I didn't look back. Behind me, I heard the soft sound of a wine glass tipping over, then silence. Now I sit alone. Not in our apartment, in mine. The lease is in my name. Always was. The skyline looks different tonight. Honest. Still. I think about the years I gave her, the loyalty, the blind faith, the warnings I ignored because I wanted to believe in us. People think revenge is loud. They're wrong. Revenge is quiet. It's the soft hum of reclaiming yourself piece by piece. It's the power in walking away without needing to yell. It's the peace in knowing you saw the storm coming and built a shelter before it hit. I don't miss her. I miss the version of her I invented. The one who'd never hurt me. The one who never existed. And now? Now, every time she hears my name in a boardroom, sees it on a product she once pitched, or pours a glass of wine and waits for someone who won't show, she'll remember this night. Not because I shouted, not because I cried, but because I ended it with strategy, silence, and 7 unforgettable words. Enjoy your date. Revenge isn't about rage. It's about clarity. Real strength isn't in the confrontation. It's in the patience to let the truth do the damage for you. If this story hit you hard, share it. Someone out there needs the reminder that silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments. Have you ever caught someone red-handed without them even knowing you were watching?